Well, we finally managed to get out of town. And it wasn't easy.
Yeah, there was a lot of work involved. And would you believe it required yard work?
We required everything. You know, after you sit for a couple of months, you'd think the trailer would just be ready to go anytime, but it's not. It's there. Well, the lawn had to be mowed, and all the fertilizer had to go down, all those things you do before you leave for an extended period of time. Wheel bearings had to get greased, all the tire pressures had to be gone over, oil changes, things like that all had to happen. It literally took several days just to get ready to leave on this trip. But for the rest of the year now, it should be a little easier. Hey, we're down in Missouri Rivers. No, we're down in the Missouri Headwaters State Park in Montana, down near a spot called Three Forks. We're going to show you where we're at, and then we're going to tell you what we're doing on this trip. This is kind of a cool area. So this is the area where the Gallatin, the Madison, and the Jefferson rivers come together to form the Missouri, which runs for 2,300 miles all the way to St. Louis from here. And this was one of the first areas, this was the first area settled back when the pioneers first came to Montana because of the rich farmland. This is just north of Bozeman. Rich farmland and plenty of water. Hey, now the Madison River is where they filmed the movie A River Runs Through It with Brad Pitt. It was filmed near here. Actual dugout canoe from a cottonwood tree, just like Lewis and Clark used on their expedition. These things weigh tons, literally. They are so heavy. They're not like the canoes today.
Well, they have somewhat of a keel.
This is why when they came up the river and they hit Great Falls, Montana, it took them 2 months to portage around the falls. They had to build wheels to go underneath these things. They were so heavy. They actually had to construct axles and make round wooden wheels and everything because these canoes are so very heavy. At least the steersman had a comfortable place to sit. Well, near here is where John Coulter made his run. I'll let you stop the video right here and read this, but basically what happened is he got caught by the Indians. Now, John Coulter was with Lewis and Clark on their expedition, and when he came through here as part of the expedition, he fell in love with this area. So after they got back to St. Louis, or not even all the way back, John Coulter was about half the way back when he got off of their canoes and made his way back to Montana and to this area so he could trap furs, because he recognized what a rich resource was here. And he got caught by the Indians here. What they did is they stripped him naked and they told him, go, run. And they gave him a head start. Well, he was in really good physical condition. He started running. And I think he had several Indians following him, and one by one they fell behind, and there was one more that was still chasing him. I think he had a spear. You please read the details, look it up if you want to. I'm just giving you this off the top of my head. But John Coulter had stopped and just turned around and killed that one and took a spear from him and killed that one Indian. And then he ends up, of course, the rest of the Indians that are further back, they're seeing what's going on and they're really ticked off. So they all start going after him, and he jumps into one of the rivers here and gets underneath a log jam and he hides out until they search and search and search for him and can't find him. He's lucky he didn't die from the cold, because this is all snow melt here. The water is very cold. But that's how he escaped. John Coulter. Look him up. The original hotel, all built of hand-hewn logs. That's something. this is just our first night on the road here. We got miles to go, so where are we going? South. Anyways, this area is called the Gallatin Valley. Well, this is the little town of Three Forks. Just a beautiful little spot. A lot of history here. Early pioneers. It's a very pretty little town. On the left side here is the Sacagawea Hotel. Looks like a nice place to stay, and Linda and I plan on doing that one of these days, coming back here and spend a night at the hotel. A couple of museums in town. I saw a railroad museum or a railway museum behind us, and a museum here on the right side. Well, out in front of us here you can see the mountains of Yellowstone, and that's where we're headed, but we don't know what it's going to be like going through the park. We're going to enter on the west side and come out the east side heading towards Cody. That's the plan anyway. We're heading down through Norris, Montana, down through Ennis, which is known as a fishing town. That's where all the fishermen like to go during the warmer months. And down to West Yellowstone. This is such a beautiful area to drive through. Hardly any traffic. But we're climbing. We're a little over 5,000 feet now and going up. Don't know what to expect now from Yellowstone. It's got to be really snowy up in there. We don't want to spend the night in Yellowstone. I don't even think the campgrounds are open. This is just the second week of May. The trees are all leafing out and the grass is green. It's a beautiful time of year, but I see snow ahead of us. Here it begins. Just making our way into Yellowstone. West entrance. Somebody got gored by a buffalo here a couple days ago. So man, what's the matter, folks? You wouldn't pet a cow. Why would you walk up to a wild buffalo? That's strange. Well, they said the road is open all the way through Yellowstone, clear out the other side and down to Cody. That's what we want to do today. Well, as we drive through Yellowstone, we're not seeing very much traffic at all. Just occasional car. Campground. I'll bet you it's closed. I'm just guessing. Is the gate across? No. Campground was actually open. Well, the bison are here in the park, but the deer and the elk, they're all down at lower elevations feeding in the farm fields. And that probably means that the bear and the wolves and the mountain lions are hanging out where the deer and the elk are. Well, I got to tell you, it's nice to be in a national park again. We haven't been able to take videos in a national park for, I don't know, years, because the process to get a permit was lengthy and expensive, cumbersome, and they finally did away with that, so we're free to video and put it up on our YouTube channel now. But it is nice to be back in a national park because they are beautiful. It's funny how everybody keeps stopping.
They think we see something, so they all stop, jump out of their cars and look out in the field and give us a dirty look, jump back in their cars and off they go, because we're stopped for lunch, not because we're looking at an animal.
Ooh, got rain coming. Let's get out of here. Yeah, it's chilly out. We're up in the snow up here, so we won't be spending the night at any of the campgrounds here. There's nice campgrounds, and we didn't expect them to even be open, but they are. But we're going to head down the other side. We're heading towards Cody, Wyoming. We're actually just traveling through Yellowstone ourselves to get to the other side. Well, the smell in the air is strong sulfur, so it's kind of a rotten egg smell. Oh yeah, that's hot. What you can't see right now is through the steam. There's a big bubbling flow of boiling hot water coming up out of the ground over in that corner over there. Well, living in Montana for years, we've been hearing about how Yellowstone is gonna blow, and it's gonna wipe out Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, gonna blow us all off the face of the earth. And then recently they've been saying, never mind, it doesn't look that bad. It looks like it's not gonna do that. Science. Well, this is Yellowstone Lake, and you can see that it's still froze over. Middle of May. Yeah, it's a huge lake. Well, this is where we ended up for the evening. We're, I don't know, 40 miles west of Cody, Wyoming. In this area, it's hard-sided campers only, no tents. And it's because there's grizzly bears. There's grizzly bear paw prints right here in the road in front of me. So I know they're here. Looks like we'll be eating cold sandwiches tonight. See the rub marks on the tree there from a deer's antlers? Too low for elk antler. We're right along the Shoshone River, but we're laying low tonight because it's bear territory, so we're not taking any chances. Yeah, we always pack weapon, you know what I mean, for bears. I know a lot of people say, oh, bear spray, bear spray. The latest study shows bear spray to be 50% effective. And it depends on what study you look at, but 50% is not very good odds. So yeah, we carry firearms. Speaking of which, on my Armalite rifle model 15, I need to zero the red dot and the sight on it. These things get bumped. So I've got a red dot here, and then I've got a flip-up rear sight here that I can use if I have to, along with the front sight. So I need to zero these both in just to check them because, like I say, they get bumped. I'm not going to show me actually shooting the rifle because that gets in the way of my YouTube monetization. I don't want to do that. But I will show you what I'm doing and show you how it turns out anyway. Okay, that ought to work. Okay, high and just slightly to the left. All right, well, I'm only shooting at about 50 yards. High, kind of okay like that, but I'm going to dial it down a little bit. Try it again. Of course, I'm not bench resting or anything, so I'm just leaning against a tree or braced against a tree, so I can tell you that the sights are moving around quite a bit while I do this, but let's see here. Okay, let's try it again. Where did that go? I'm shooting military ball ammo. So a 100-yard group with military ball ammo, I'd be lucky to get 2 inches with it. So where did we hit this time? Oh, right there. I think I'll bring it up just a hair and go with that. The way I did this just now is I aimed here for the second shot. And while I was aiming, I adjusted the red dot down to here. And then it hit right here. So I'm gonna adjust it up just a hair from where it is and just call her good. Anyways, check them once in a while because sights get bumped. And they're a little bit off, you know. Just in getting it in and out of your truck and leaning it against a wall and things like that, it just gets bumped, that's all. Hey, thanks for coming along on this video.
You guys still here?
Yeah. And thank you if you are. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And the subscription really helps us. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you don't mind, consider a contribution to Patreon or PayPal. We'd appreciate it. Helps pay for the gas. See you around.